Hello, dear viewers. Thank you for watching. I want to start out by correcting something that I said in video 271. I was talking about the opioid addiction, and in that video, I was talking about the areas of the country that are being hit the hardest with the opioid addiction, where they're much higher than the 36 pills per person that are given per year to people in those areas. Not given, but the average number of pills that they're selling, if you divided it across their area, would be about 36. Their counties would be about 36 pills per person, including children, in the number of people in those counties. And I was talking about, it's in the coal areas, it's in Tennessee, it's in, it's everywhere. But there are certain pockets that are really heavy. And I made a comment and I said, it's not a race thing. And I want to correct that. It is a race thing. It is a race thing, but it is a white race thing. It is more prevalent in areas that are predominantly white. So I want to correct that because, shame on me for saying it's not a race thing. It is a race thing. It's just a white race thing. I also noticed on the video several people commenting that, they depend on the pain medicine because they have chronic issues with their health, that it helps. So I wanted to say a couple of things about that. First of all, they knew these opioids were highly addictive before they marketed them. They knew it. There were other pain medicines that were used before the opioids, and they got their little pharmaceutical salesmen and their doctors all on board with prescribing the crap out of these opioids that are highly addictive, and the doctors, their patients would come back and want more and more and more. So there were other pain medications that they could be prescribing. Now, some of you also said, I am on these medications and I am not addicted. Good for you. But in general, in this country, you have to admit there is a huge opioid epidemic. It is out of control. Out of control. So the nation average is 36 pills per person, including children, per year that are prescribed and sold, not counting the black market. And we know there's another whole filthy underground mess with this because of the addiction issues. There are a lot of children that get put on these. There are children that maybe playing soccer or football or whatever, get a sports injury. They're prescribed it. One of the most heartbreaking interviews I saw was with the parents of a teenage son who they lost to the opioid addiction. And he was prescribed by a sports doctor and got hooked and went down a dark path with drug addiction. So if you're not addicted and you're taking these pills, good for you. But let's face it, we have an addiction issue in this country, and it is predominantly in white areas of America. So I want to ask a quick question. Did the pharmaceutical companies, knowing this was addictive, did they? Sorry, I'm sweating in the lamp that's shining on me. Did they target certain areas like the coal country? Did they work with Republicans, to target certain people who are marginalized, in their ability to work and make money? Was there, because they got all this through the FDA, got approvals and everything. Their lobbyists helped get approvals to market these drugs, even though they knew they were addictive. Now they have drugs they want to market that help with the addictions. So now they're going to make money on the cure if they get approval to market those drugs. So Talk to me, Spirit. Were there people, specifically people in marginalized communities, because it seems to be impacting lower to middle class family areas much more so than affluent areas? And very rural areas seem to be having a harder time than the urban areas, the big cities, the more rural areas. When you go into smaller counties outside of bigger cities, it's crazy how the numbers jump. Boom. Truth and power. Truth and power. Betrayal right off the bat. Heartbreak and betrayal right off the bat. Their challenge was to give hope that these medications would cure their pain issues. That was the challenge, not talking about the addiction, to give hope that they would feel less pain. They knew these medications were strong and addictive, and they knew they had a strong power. You know, Ace of Swords on the bottom talks about power. They knew that these were strongly addictive, but the power also that the pharmaceutical companies have to get it through. So, you know, people could be offered something less addictive, but they didn't want that. They wanted the thing that was addictive. So they knew that when people tried these, that they would want to go back to these opioids. Going to have major legal issues sitting on them over this. Major legal issues, because here in the future, you know, they've won with dishonor. They got their money. They won with dishonor. They fought. They got the drugs on the market. Now they want to fight and get the cure on the market. They were very successful at this. They were, you know, it was also very quick how quickly these opioids got on the market and how quickly people got addicted to them. And I feel like they're going to try to be just as quick at getting the medication on the market to help cure the opioid addiction so that they can make more money off of it, because they got the greedy men making money hand over fist, you know, and steady money, steadfast. You know, this knight stands still holding his money. He's making the money. He's the emissary of the money. But it's steady money. They are going to be put in defense mode with the courts over this. They're going to get burdened with court case after court case after court case. I hope parents who have lost, you know, teenage children and to addiction issues sue the crap out of them. There are a lot of secrets that are going to come out in the future about this, how they got the plan off the ground. The higher ups at these pharmaceutical companies, I feel like, are going to be put under a microscope. Yeah, a message getting out to America, a message sent to America. I feel like this isn't going to come to a head until Trump's out of office. So after he's gone from the White House. And the other thing I feel on this is, yes, they targeted the impoverished and middle America, you know, not the wealthy elite. Middle America, judgment's coming down hard on them. So they're going to have to pay out, yeah, they're going to have a lot of losses. They're going to have to pay out a lot of money in court cases. Just a crying shame. Just a crying shame. I had something else I wanted to read on. I'm going to pause for a minute while I try to remember what it was. Hang on. Oh, I remembered. As soon as I click pause, I remember. A while back, there were fires on Epstein's Little St. James Island. Yeah, I've watched some videos that fly over it. He's got like this temple at one end of the island. It's just crazy stuff on this island. Underground tunnels, I've heard, and all kinds of stuff. But there were fires on this island. And I just want to look at, has anyone come to harm on his island? Were they trying to hide the evidence by starting fires? Or were these natural caused fires, like caused by lightning or whatever? Gas leak or whatever. Were these fires intentional? Were they trying to hide anything? These, of course, are my intuitive impressions, strictly for entertainment purposes. Thank you, YouTube. 2 of my 3 videos that I posted earlier did get monetized. The Stephen Miller one is limited monetization. Imagine that. Oh, well. What happened on Epstein's Little St. James Island? What's with the fires? Well, somebody was anxious about something. Epstein, the celebrated person, and also the celebrities that went there to the island. The challenge was somebody did something foolish. Somebody did something foolish. The lovers at the root of this, and the young people at the crowning this. So someone did something very, very foolish. Epstein tried to walk away from it, and I feel like the other person, I do feel like there's another person involved. Yeah, it's someone he worked with on dark money. Someone else that he worked with was involved. The Empress is pregnant with possibilities. She can be about a new beginning, a lot of ways you can go with something, or she can be about a collective of feminine energy too. And I feel like there was someone who was pregnant, and they were trying to be strong about it, trying to get a payoff, to help with raising the child, and here's this winning with dishonor. So, it's about slaying everybody else. This may come out in the court cases, with the government and the lawyers. This may end up coming out in the court cases, what happened. Most of the time the death card is not about a physical death. Most of the time it's about a death, a new beginning. It's about change, big change, end of a cycle, beginning something new. But in this case, I feel like it is about a death. Someone offered one of the girls a poison chalice, so to speak, at a party. There was a loss, and now they're just trying to protect themselves. So they've had to pay out money over this also, trying to keep it quiet. They felt like they were successful in paying off anybody else who knew about this. Yeah, wealthy men and young, and the young. So I'm going to stop there on that. And thank you for watching. As you know, I try to do several videos in a row when I'm have time to do that for you guys, because I'm not posting videos every day like I used to in the old days. But thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your donations, and like and subscribe. See you in the next video.